What's going on, everyone? Down over here. Welcome back to the show. Hey, today I just wanted to shoot a video, really do a book review of one of my favorite books because I keep going back to it. And if you, like me, and you are going after self-discipline and just character development and things like that, and you like books like that in your library, I definitely want to introduce you to a book by Brian Tracy called No Excuses. I'm going to read an excerpt from the book that I thought was really cool, that got me triggered to really read it. And I'll paraphrase a little bit here of the of the intro, where Brian Tracy is just basically talking about at a seminar he asked a lot of people, what do they want? Um, who would like to lose weight, who would like to get out of debt, who would like to achieve financial independence, uh, and just talked about how a lot of people cheered and raised their hands. Uh, and he said, wonderful, that's great. You want to do all these things. And I'm going to read from the part that really got me. So not only do we want all these things, but we know what we have to do to achieve them. And we all intend to do these things sometime. But before we get started, we decide that we need to take a little vacation to a wonderful fantasy place called Someday Else. We all say, someday I'll read a book. Someday I'll start the exercise program. Someday I'll upgrade my skills and earn more money. Someday I will get my finances under control and get out of debt. Someday I will do all these things that I know I need to do to achieve all my goals someday. Probably 80% of the population lives on someday isle most of the time. They think and dream and fantasize about all these things they're going to do someday. And they are surrounded by, on someday isle, who? Other people who think the same thing. And what the chief topic of conversation is on someday isle? Excuses. They all sit around and swap excuses for being on that island. Why are you here? They ask each other. Not surprising, their excuses are largely the same. I don't have a happy childhood. I didn't get a good education. I don't have any money. My boss is really critical. My marriage is no good. No one appreciates me, or the economy is terrible. They all have come down with the disease of excusitis, which is invariable fatal to success. They all have good intentions, but as everyone knows, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Now that intro hooked me. I don't know about you, but it got me. And like I said, I go back to this book from time to time because I have to remind myself of the things it talks about. It's broken down in kind of three parts with 21 chapters, about seven chapters each part. And I'm going to read some of the things from it. And I know if you like to go after self-discipline like I do, I like the results of self-discipline. I don't necessarily care about being self-disciplined, but I do like the results. They can bring peace. They can bring just a calmness through some chaotic situations in life. When you have that peace, when you have that that rightness in your life, it helps you steer through things that come up. And when you think of self-discipline, what comes to your mind? For me, it means having self-control, because only you can control you. And like I said, in this book, Brian shows 21 ways to achieve lasting happiness and success. I know you could be thinking that, why buy this book? But it breaks down a lot of areas, guys, that even some that I didn't think about, that really will help you in your self-discipline. I'm going to read some of the, actually I'm going to read a lot of the chapters it talks about And you can think about that, well, this isn't me, but I think sooner or later it can become us, whether we're introverts or extroverts, or we're so-called shy or loud people. Uh, so I'm going to share some of the basics of self-discipline. Uh, he shares in this book: success, character, responsibility, goals, personal excellence, courage, persistence, work. That's a big one. I think a lot in today's society, we don't think that we think that we're not supposed to work, and you can work in many ways. You work for your family, you work for your employer, you work for yourself, you work for God. So there's many aspects of work that we need to really take hold on and be self-disciplined about: leadership, business, sales, money, time management, problem solving, happiness, personal health, ding ding ding, physical fitness, marriage, children, friendship, and chapter 21, peace of mind. And one of the main things I love about this book is that Brian shares his background and just some things that he went through and he wanted to achieve, and how he went about it. How his challenges had him asking the question, why are so many people more successful than others? Why are so many people more successful than me? How the question in his pursuit of this answer changed his life. And I know him writing this book has really helped me. And like I said, it's, you get certain books, you really never put them back on the shelf. You always keep them out so you can refresh your memory of the topics, of the practicals that you can keep growing and learning in your self-improvement. This book has definitely given me a fresh perspective and a charge about being self-disciplined, and I believe it will for you too. Now, if you haven't picked up this book, pick it up. It's definitely on Amazon, and if you're interested, you can click the link below. But it's a great book, guys, and I strongly encourage. I wouldn't even say adults, but if you're starting off and you're a teenager, 15, 16, pick it up and read it. Pick it up, get it, have it in your library. And I know you say, man, I don't want to read a book on self-discipline, but believe me, this will bring you some peace of mind down the road in these areas it talks about, because it's covering every area of our life, as well as adults, to read it and improve their lives as well. Hold on a second. I'm going to read a scripture that ties into this because it's true. And I don't think we really think about how much discipline blesses our lives and strengthens us in every way. We always like the results. I think we like the results. We like the results that the trash man comes get the trash. It takes discipline. You know, us coming and putting the trash out on the curb, that takes discipline. And what does that bring? That brings a peace of mind. You know, you collect the trash all the time. Every week the trash man comes, he does his job. That's discipline. And you benefit from that. And they benefit from that because they get paid. And also, there's not any rats or stuff running around. So benefit has, there are benefits to discipline. Hold on a second. I'm going to read from Hebrews 12. We'll start at verse 7. Hebrews 12, verse 7. Endure hardship as discipline. God is treating you as his children, for children are not disciplined by their father. If you are not disciplined, and everyone undergoes discipline, then you are not legitimate, not true sons and daughters at all. Moreover, we have all had human fathers and mothers who disciplined us, and we respected them for it. How much more should we submit to the Father of our spirits and live? They disciplined us for a little while as they thought best, but God disciplines us for our own good. in order that we may share in His holiness. Now, this is the key part here, as well as what I shared before, but this part always, the Bible speaks the truth. Verse 11 says, "No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it." And I think about that, a lot of things that I've had to do and kind of train myself, they were painful at the time, but later down the road, it created a peace. And I'm not saying a peace that I was happy and giddy, but a peace that I was calm, a peace that when situations came up, I didn't freak out. I didn't freak out. I was also there to help others to calm down. So, and I think of righteousness. I think of God's righteousness, not necessarily my own, because my own quote unquote righteousness can be tainted, can be screwed up. So I want to focus on being in God's righteousness, and that doesn't mean me being right all the time. So with discipline, with self-discipline, with self-control, we have to think about that. What do we want? We're going through the painful time to have a time of peace, to have a time of strength, really, because if you work out, painful at the time, but what does that bring later on? It brings you strength. People are looking at your muscles, they're looking at your body, not because you're showing it off, but because you go and lift something and it's just noticeable. It's just noticeable that you have some strength. Okay. People see that you're going after certain goals and stuff, and they see them being achieved because you're taking the time to go after it. It may be painful, but go after it. So guys, I don't want to ramble on, but Brian Tracy's No Excuses. Definitely pick up the book, and we'll see you in the next book review. Donovan out. Peace.